Welcome back. Today we're looking at Submechanophobia. We've done this once before, but there's new stuff since then, and people have been eating up my Thalassophobia videos, so I don't want to just keep doing more of the exact same because after a while it's like we get it, so I'm shaking it up a little bit. Submechanophobia is very similar in a lot of ways. Overlaps a lot in the fear of the ocean, fear of the sea, fear of deep water, but submechanophobia is man-made things in said water. So things kind of out of place. The definition here is the fear of partially or fully submerged man-made objects. Like this staircase, for instance. The rest of the photo would have been a little bit eerie if you're already afraid of water. Now, I can't say I necessarily have submechanophobia. I think that it just overlaps a lot with what I am afraid of, or what my phobia is. Like this photo doesn't do anything for me, right? It's a house that's flooded. If you truly have submechanophobia, I'm sure this probably is pretty creepy to you. But this, like, I wouldn't want to walk around in there probably, but this doesn't give me the heebie-jeebies. You know, I'm just like, ew, gross. So this isn't quite me, but there's a lot of overlap. Inside a nuclear reactor, the picture is hard to get the scale on how big this is. But if this is really big, obviously I wouldn't want to be in there. Like, that would make me unnerved to be in there. Abandoned Australian submarine sinking this week. I think for me, since my thing is so much the underwater portion, this photo is only scary if I think about what this must look like from underneath. But looking at it like this doesn't really do anything for me. I mean, maybe that's true for people that have submechanophobia. Maybe they have to see, maybe it's just a mind thing where you think, ew, that's underwater. It's above water, but if I was to see this same thing underwater, the submarine being there makes it creepier than if it was just an underwater thing. So it's like, I kind of get it, but I also, like, I'm curious. If you have submechanophobia, please let me know. Like, is this above water picture scary to you? Or is it still the idea of what it would look like underneath? Is this triggering for people that have submechanophobia? Is this, or here, submechanophobia? Yeah, see, this does it for me, though. Just because of how dark this is. This just being in this water, regardless of what's in there. Diabolical. Yikes. Yeah, that'll do it for me. Yeah, see, that does it. That's creepy. Oh, bro. This edge is what's creeping me out the most, though, because you get the scale of how big this is. This dude's got guts for going, oh, look at that. Yeah, see, maybe that's where our two phobias intersect. The submechanophobia is all about the ship here, and mine is all about the sea around the ship and how the ship in the water gives you scale for how much water there really is. Like, you know how big a ship is, and then you see this edge right here. You see that edge, and you see how far down it goes. There was a good shot earlier. Yeah, right there. And he pans down, and you can see how far down this goes. You don't actually get to see the bottom of it. That's how big this is. Bro. I understand you, submechanophobia friends. You and I are not so different. Ooh, that's creepy. What is this, a dam? Motorboat nearly swept over a dam spillway in Texas. You mean they didn't go over? How do you recover from this? This must have been like, I guess you could throw it in reverse and hope for the best. How do you get this far in there without throwing it in reverse earlier, if that's an option? Do that sooner. Don't wait till you're halfway over the edge. Dang, that's sketchy, dude. Sketchy for all kinds of reasons. Submarine just breaching the surface. Yeah, that's pretty good. I've seen this one before.
Have you ever...
Shut up! Astronaut pool. Whoa. Oh, wait. Okay, I'm glad we don't go in there. That looks like a mess. It looks like it's not that deep, though. At least it looks. Dang, that's crazy. Crazy. Yeah, shipwrecks are probably top tier submechanophobia, I feel like, because they're big. They're always at the bottom, obviously, because they sunk all the way down. They're just always covered in crap. And for some reason, divers love to hang out there, so we get to see it a lot. Is that a Porsche? I don't know. Hard to tell. Looks more like an SUV, actually. Could be a Porsche Cayenne. Scrolling through listings of houses for sale, found this in the basement. This is the basement? Is it supposed to be like this? I guess, yeah, if it's a beachside house. No, there's no way this is supposed to be like this. Maybe. But why would you want that? That's just going to smell like Gross seawater all day. This looks like it could have been a fireplace at some point. There's no way this is built like this. It's this framing here that makes me think this is just the under of the under house. So I don't know, maybe. What kind of sadistic person would build it like this, though? And what is this? What's this? Oh, that's the reflection of the stairs? I have no idea what's going on there, but I don't like it. Whatever it is. Oh, yeah. The people for scale. This thing, you can't see all of it drifting off into the fog. Gnarly, dude. Dang, okay. See, it doesn't really do anything for me, but if I picture being in there, yeah, it's kind of a tangled mess in there. It's in the water. Ew. Oh, ew. Looks like liminal space. I want to do a video on liminal space, too. If you guys know what that is. If you don't, then look for my video, because liminal space is interesting. It's not water-related, really. Although there is lots of water in it. It's usually pools. But it's just kind of like almost dream-like, kind of like, where is this? Why does this exist? Type pictures that make you just feel kind of weird. This feels liminal space to me. But side note here, I don't know exactly where my phobia comes from. I have a couple childhood kind of like pseudo-traumatic events that happened. But it's hard to say if, I don't know, I assume you're not just born with it, right? So something had happened. But when you're a little kid, things affect you like crazy. Like you could have, I don't know, if a bird attacks you jumps on your head as a baby or whatever, as a 3-year-old, then maybe you're scared of birds forever. You know, birds to me are relatively harmless. I can't fathom being afraid of birds. They seem pretty easy to handle if they decided to attack you. Like not that big a deal, right? Except maybe, I don't know, vultures, whatever. So when you're a kid, things affect you like crazy. And this is reminding me of my earliest memory. Not just my earliest memory of any sort of water phobia. My earliest memory I could think of, I was probably 3, maybe even younger. But anything younger than that sounds harder to believe. But probably 3. And at my grandma's house, she had this pool that was shallow on the ends, but was deep in the middle. And there was a giant painted killer whale on the bottom. And these painted fish at the bottom are freaking me out because it's totally reminding me of that. And like I said, very fuzzy kid memory. It could have been a picture of Mr. Krabs for all I know. Like, it could have been anything. But pretty dang sure it was a picture of a killer whale. And in my mind, how I picture it is it was like full size. Like, it was a giant. Like, it was a big killer whale. They're not the nicest looking. They got quite the mouth of teeth. I don't know. You could say they look scary. You could say they look friendly. Whatever. Doesn't matter. As a 3-year-old, freaked me out. Why and who and how are you guys painting giant fish on the bottom of pools? That's evil. But that giant killer whale could be the reason why I'm here doing this right now. That giant killer whale painted on the bottom of the pool freaked me out so much as a little kid. But freaking, you don't want to be 3 with your active imagination, get into a pool that you can't swim. I couldn't swim at age 3. And then you look under the water and you see a life-size killer whale looking up at you. Doesn't matter. When you're a kid, everything affects you and your imagination is working overtime. Traumatic. Don't do this. Don't do this. It's a kind of old school thing to do. I don't see it anymore. But don't paint big scary fish on the bottom of the pool. We're in the pool to avoid that. A little creepy. Very creepy. Whoa, that's cool looking though, in a weird sort of way. You can walk above it? What does that look like? Oh, dude, that's crazy. That you can see like this little lip, this little edge go down. There's a wall. Weird, dude. That's interesting and creepy. Can you imagine going over the edge of that? Can you imagine being near it? I've been here. I've been right here. I've been on this thing. The USS Arizona in Pearl Harbor. I don't just torture myself on camera. I torture myself in real life as well. I go to the water. Not super often, but often enough to not avoid it altogether. They have the option to take a little boat out onto this thing, which has glass floors or some openings where you can see the ship below you. And I went out there. I saw this. I stood right here. And it was pretty creepy. Is this real? This looks like a painting. What's with like the... What do you call it? Like the Borderlands kind of edges here. It looks cel-shaded. That's what the word I'm looking for. Look at these edges. These thick black lines. It's just how it looks, I guess. Everything else looks real, but this looks like... Maybe it is. I don't know. Even the shadow looks kind of fake. Everything about this says it's real, but this looks fake to me. The shadow looks fake. The edges look fake. The cel shading looks fake. But apparently it's real. Ugh. Now that's some questionable marketing. Ugh. Ferry sunk as artificial reef in Malta. Creepy. Submarine. Maybe if these photos were bigger. Sunken boat under the ice. Ooh, that's kind of creepy. The distortion from the ice. These pictures are so small, though. Yikes. Shark statue half submerged in water. That would look creepy underneath water, too. Why would you make that? I don't get it. Bro. Yikes. Ooh. Yeah, I don't like that. Yeah, dams are pretty creepy. Because they're so big. You don't realize how big they are. Sunken, rotting plane in the deep. There's another flooded one. Like, that's gross. Don't want to touch that. Like, not interested? I don't know. I guess being under the water, I don't know. Still, it's like a different kind of fear. It's like, I wouldn't want to do that because it'd be dangerous or it'd be sketchy. I wouldn't want to, like, step on anything sharp or whatever. Like, but it doesn't do anything for my fear of water. Like, if I had to, like, say I had to escape this building because it was on fire, I would be able to trudge through this to get out if I needed to. And I wouldn't be freaking out like, oh my god, the water's so scary. Like, I don't know. That's the part of submechanophobia that I do not have. Whoa, submerged water ski course? What the heck? That's trippy because it's so faint. Gross. Yeah, I can feel this one because this is somewhere that you could go swimming, right? This looks like a nice little trudge into the water, but you got this big shipwreck right here. And this is a giant, this is way up in the air. This is a way up in the air photo from a drone. So like this thing is big. Like if you were standing right here, you would probably wouldn't be able to see the end of it. You would just see a gigantic thing in the water. Meh, creepy. How deep is that, do you think? Oh, depth is 160. Yeah, I guess that'd be creepy to fall into. Any sort of enclosed space when it's submerged too is creepy because like you fall in there, like you're not, it's not creepy for reasons you'd think, but if you were to look down in the water, you see the four walls around you kind of just fade out. You're like in a box. There's something creepy about that. I think I've seen this. Yeah, this is creepy. I saw a video of this though. There's a video of this in the last video I did, the Thalassophobia video. Creepy, but like whatever. Creepy. Oh yeah. Dude, planes. Planes I rank as worse than shipwrecks because they're even more like separate from water. Where like shipwrecks, like yeah, it was here and then it sunk and now it's here. But like planes, it was up here and then it crashed and then it sank. That's no good. Plus, like it's pretty easy to survive a shipwreck, depending on what the circumstances were. But like, you know, hats off to the Titanic. Never forget a shipwreck. Like you start taking in water and you got the lifeboats, and then even if the ship completely sinks, you potentially can, you know, you can swim for a while. Obviously, people on the boat can radio for help. They can send boats out to you. Like now, especially nowadays, like it's pretty easy to survive a shipwreck, depending on where you are. If you're in the middle of the ocean, you're screwed, of course. But you know, there's less death associated with a shipwreck as there is a plane wreck because there's a lot more that can go wrong in a plane crash in the water. You know. Of course, you hear about the times when the plane, you know, they were able to float it on top of the water and people were hanging out on the wings. They all got rescued. Cool. But in my head, I think it's ingrained in me that plane crash worse than shipwreck, right? We can agree on that, I think.
Where's the other piece that goes into the
Oh, this is going to be something special. Oh, whoa. Okay, yeah, this is... Wow. What the heck? Whoa. Yikes. Ah, that's so... Yo, that's gnarly. That's crazy. They have to go do that. That's crazy. Yeah, that's gnarly, though. This shot right here. Or this one right here when he pans downwards. Yeah, dude. And you can't see where it ends, really. It looks like it ends down there, but it... Does it? Does it? We don't know. I don't know. You don't know. Here we go again. It's like the same thing painted, too. It looks like it's done with tiles, too. I was going to say it's like pixel art, but I was like, no, that's tile. Yeah, wave pool intakes did scare the crap out of me, too. if that's submechanophobia, then you definitely can relate to that one. Stop painting big fish on the bottom of the pools, though, dude. You're creating people like me. Yikes. Okay, well, I'm going to end it. Thanks for watching. Ooh, wait, this one looks good. Yikes. Why are they so small? Let's look up liminal space really quick. Thanks so much for watching. This is kind of the bonus time here. I want to give you guys a little taste. Let's just look at the week. Let's look at all time, actually. Screw that. Something else I want to do that's not water related, but this one is a liminal space is the time between. Oh yeah, this definition doesn't really work for me, but here it is. A liminal space is the time between the what was and the next. It is a place of transition, waiting, and not knowing. Liminal space is where all transformation takes place if we learn to wait and let it form us. It sounds vague. It's like they're trying to sound all edgy or whatever. It doesn't really work for me, but the way I think of it is, it's like there's something missing here. Picture, I guess, is that the Oval Office? Yeah, okay. So that's eerie because this fixes the definition. This fits the definition really well because it's like a room that's always full and it's empty. So you're like, oh, that's crazy. But like, it seems to go beyond that. Like this, right? It's this kind of vaguely empty. I don't really see any transition happening here. So that's why I kind of say that their definition is a little like shoddy because it's less transition and more just eerie emptiness, liminal nonsense where it's like, what's going on here? Why is it like kind of new and kind of nice, but completely barren? There's just so little happening in this picture that it feels kind of like dreamlike. Like this, kind of middle of nowhere. There's still power lines, but there's just no hope in the distance. The signs are blank, which is a weird thing to see, like kind of dreamlike. So if you guys want me to go through this, there's a lot of variety in here. And some of them might make you feel weird. Some of them might not do anything for you. I know lots of them don't do anything for me, but some of them are just like, that's just so weird to be looking at. So if that interests you, let me know. I might do it regardless because I don't want to milk the water thing too much. I'll keep doing it, of course, but I want to try out things that are similar. But I want to see what people can, share something new with you guys. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. The last one is popping off right now, so I'm happy to see people are eating this up. I'll keep it coming as long as people want it. Also, I said last video that orcas are jerks, and a bunch of people told me that there's no recorded attacks on humans. I was like, I'm pretty sure I've heard time and time again that orcas or killer whales are kind of the jerks of the ocean. I think I should have put more emphasis on dolphins being bad because that's the one I probably hear more. I didn't really say that in the video, but a bunch of people defended orcas to me. They were like, how dare you, get your facts straight. Just Google orcas. There's so much about how they're like the worst. Look at this. Orcas have been known to pick fights with blue whales for no reason besides sheer thrill. While they don't intend to eat the whale, they apparently find amusement in antagonizing other larger marine mammals. There's so much stuff. Orcas are jerks. There's so much stuff. Dolphins are jerks. So are orcas. Orcas are cold-blooded killers. I remember seeing an article a couple days ago that was literally titled something like "Orcas are the biggest jerks of the ocean," or like the worst, the most aggressive, whatever. I don't know. So maybe there's maybe you're right. Maybe there are no recorded attacks of orcas. Maybe that's true. But they're definitely known for terrorizing other sea creatures for just the heck of it, and that makes them jerks in my eyes. Because if you're not attacking a whale to eat him, you just want to like mess up his day and give him a couple good bites, I consider you a jerk. So stop acting like I'm way out of line for saying orcas are jerks, because they are. I know you watched Free Willy. It made you feel happy. I know you watched Blackfish. It made you feel all sad. And now you're all Team Orca. But they're not squeaky clean. They're actually kind of jerks. And so are dolphins. And so is a lot of wildlife out there. So anyway, rant aside, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.